Yeah, I love it.
How's
We'll
it
rock
going,
you like a
Kevin?
hurricane.
You always do.
That's a great intro.
I'm so happy to have you here, Kevin. You're one of my favorites in the industry. I've always been inspired by what you've done in the industry. Today, we have episode number 3 of Talent in Lending Tech called Tilt. And Kevin was gracious enough to join me, and we're going to interview each other on this episode. You know, Kevin has a lot of innovative, creative thinking and talents that he's using in his business. And then, I mean, I always love to just play guitar, so that's me. But so anyways.
You have a brand, you have an identity. People like know you as like Mark's the dude that plays guitar, and they get to know you, and you know you're cooler than even a guitar player. So man, it's the honor's all mine.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. And I mean, I recall we were at the NBA and we had a great time on the bus. People were singing and we were playing guitar and stuff. So anywhere I get a chance to play is fun. And Kevin has always supported me when I'm playing. So it's nice. It's not like, oh my God, that guy just makes too much noise. He's always been supportive.
What was that? Was that a mortgage collaborative event where you had the suite up there and we jammed for a couple hours fighting off security? I think I even got on the mic and sang a little bit.
You were brilliant on the microphone. In fact, the security came to watch you 3 times before we almost kicked us out of the hotel, but we had a great time. Anyways, we got a great episode to kick off 2025 for you guys. Kevin, you know, PRMG really has built the company, you know, from almost inception, ground up. He's innovated the tech there. So we got a lot of really cool things to talk about today. We're going to talk about technology, how Kevin is using it in his career and his business, and for all of his people that work for PRMG. We're going to talk about how we both bring creativity into driving success, you know, really attracting people to the business in different ways. So anyways, so why don't we get started with the first question? So, you know, Kevin, let's start off with tech. Let's give people some useful things they can walk away with. How have you leveraged and used technology, AI, you know, over the last year, as you know, in 2024, and then kicking off into 2025, looking ahead, to really catapult your business forward?
Well, I first of all, I want to say, you know, our company is over 23 years old, going on 24 years old. Paul Rozo and Robert Holliday founded the company, and they don't get out. They used to go to the Western Secondary, and then I came along, and now I'm the road guy. So, you know, we have a incredible foundation with their leadership. And then, of course, we have our other partner, Gary Malice, who runs cap markets and strategy, and he's usually at some of the NBA events. So over 1,500 people strong, 3 channels. We've got a lot of great leaders, and I don't want to take more than my share of whatever credit is due for us standing tall, but I do speak for all of us, and we're all in right now, and we're excited about next year. I got to California from Fort Lauderdale. I got here about 9 years ago. I'm in Newport Beach, and it's not bad. It's pretty today. There's not a cloud in the sky. A little chilly, but you know, I've been on this kick wearing my little shearling here since the NBA. You know, when I got here 9 years ago, we had a team that I helped bring to the company over 14 years ago, based in Fort Lauderdale, and we helped expand, you know, the East Coast, and you know, started in Fort Lauderdale and expanded from there. And all 3 channels, you know, wholesale, retail. We built a correspondent channel while I was out there. And so Paul and Robert asked me to come be their partner and take ownership in the company and kind of do it everywhere. And what I realized pretty quickly was that in 2016, in our first senior management meeting, I mean, literally not for dramatic effect, but basically I just said, if we don't invest in our technology, we can just shut this stuff down now, right? So we got to get out in front of it. There's a lot of people out there who are really, beyond just a CRM, beyond just our LOS, beyond the pricing engine. We had to step our tech game up. And so, we had a couple of Encompass admins. Now we've got, we took control of our database. It's one thing that Gary Malice did as soon as he got here. And, we have all of our own reporting. I think we're on our third BI reporting tool now. We just implemented this past year, and just to get better insights. And, Gallus Insights, fantastic company. We have a director of engineering. We've got people that code. We've got people that develop. I mean, we're, I'd say a legitimate technology company. And so, and having said that, but, we don't have, 1,000 people like that on staff. And so we have to rely on technology partners like you guys, or, like ICE that bought Encompass. And so, there's so many giant tech teams that we have to rely on to do some of the heavy lifting, which gives us the chance to be best in breed in any one of those categories. So I guess my small part that I do at this company is I'm on the road. I'm looking for tech. I'm looking for what's good. I'm doing all the demos, AI sales assistants using voice, for example. We get it out a little bit later, but it's a big part of our roadmap. And, I've done so many demos the past 4 months. I had one at 7:30 this morning from a company in Berlin. It was like the last time spot on this guy's calendar, and which was pretty much as early as I want to. I mean, I'll get on a call at 7 a.m., but I prefer nothing before 8, only because we have 4 little kids. They're 5, 7, 9, and 11, and they're loud and they're crazy and they're running around, and I don't have a lot of space, and so I have to hide out somewhere. But yeah, our TPO portal is a big initiative that's almost rolled out. We've got some AI sales assistants, both in structuring files and also in voice. We've got an income analyzer. Those are, things that you guys are part of as well in those conversations at Trained. We're working through that, and we're trying to finish the year strong, because we know spring purchase season is going to be busy, and we're excited about next year. So we think the more you invest in tech, the more you kind of separate yourself from the competition. And there's plenty of business to go around, and we all compete, but we also all collaborate as well, which I love that about our industry. And I mean, you as a musician, I know that you're used to collaborating. You get assembled with random people, and you're like, hey, let's play Rock You Like a Hurricane, and then it'll be its own unique version that you probably never played before, because you're collaborating with artists maybe you've never worked before. But then it's like, man, this was like the best version I've ever put out of it. So I mean, you're used to collaborating with musicians, right? I mean, I don't know the whole history, but you're obviously very accomplished at guitar. I mean, did you start with some buddies and just throw it in the garage and annoy the parents while you learn, or did you learn on your own and then assemble how to, it's probably a similar kind of thought process as it is to putting technology together. How did you assemble going forward and collaborate?
Yeah, thank you for that. I'll address just a couple of things you said there. First of all, very excited for your TPO program. I think the way you've wrapped technology around that, PRMG is definitely going to be one of the top TPO organizations of 2025. Everybody, all our viewers, please keep an eye out, watch their progress. It's going to be exciting to watch. I'm excited about it. Secondly, you mentioned collaborating, and look, that's how we scale companies, right? And it's one of the things I always say, it's not always about having the answers or being responsible to come up with the answer. If you go and answer everything and don't let other people talk and participate, they don't buy in. So you have to, sometimes a better thing to do, propose the right questions to drive thought leadership in your team. And then that helps give other leaders in your company to step up and help you make those decisions. And that's how we scale, because then we can all come up with these ideas together and vet the best ideas. But now to your question on the music, though, yes, it's always in the moment improvising. And I think we could relate that to business, right? Like things pivot constantly in the business, like unexpected changes, the market changes, something happens, you get a big opportunity, and all of a sudden you've got a big group joining PRMG that wants to come in. You got to pivot like everything to accommodate and still put on a good show. And that's really, putting on a show is important. Performing is important in general. So I do like the music aspect. It keeps you on your toes. I can't mess up. I don't like to mess up. I hate failure, but turning it back to my own personal failure, but turning back to you, how have you used, as I'd mentioned, I've always noticed your creativity and your ingenuity. You're able to come up with things on the spot too. How have you used those, human talents to build a successful company, a successful career? You're obviously a leader in your own world that you've created here.
Well, I'll just say, my parents, have a lot to do with, my foundational, upbringing. And thank God they were able to put me to college, and I went to the University of Texas at Austin, and I'll be there I don't know when you're posting this live, but this coming up weekend is Texas' first, CFP playoff game, and they're playing and hosting Clemson. They've never played each other. So, got a good education. I think what was nice about UT is not necessarily my advertising degree, although it did help me learn to communicate, but being in group settings and getting paired with people randomly and given group projects and getting to present, those were things that I think has helped me, right? And so I joined a bunch of organizations on campus. I even joined probably the cheapest, most, I guess, non-cliche fraternity you can think of, just a group of friends that were pretty cool and, something affordable, and it just helps you get along.
Was that an organized fraternity?
Yeah, I was a Delta Chi, University of Texas.
Okay. I was a teak, but some colleges, they were good. Some, they were troublemakers.
Yeah. So teaks, I believe, have the most presidents in the United States. It's the teak house. So I think there's more presidents that come out of that. It's a very old and historic organization.
Elvis Presley was an honorary teak. You know that?
Oh, let's go.
So it was the right one for me.
We have Kevin Costner. He went to Cal State Fullerton.
Man.
And we also
awesome.
have President Garfield, and we always thought Brother Costner was our most prestigious alum. And I got to meet him through the good folks at Lender Price. Him and Rod, they're an investment group that put some money in Lender Price, which we're in their marketplace. And I got to actually see him, Kevin Costner, in the West. He has a band. And
he has a band?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's check that out.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And so I went up there with Dewar and David Caldwell. We went to the Agua Caliente in Rancho Mirage, just a couple miles from a condo I own out there in the desert. So yeah, I got to go backstage and hang out with Kevin Costner for 45 minutes. And then we went to this little part in the bar and hung out for like another hour. I mean, he's just super down to earth, and he was right in the middle of Yellowstone and everything a few years ago. So I got to meet Brother Costner in a music setting, and this goes to show you how, music is absolutely intertwined with our industry.
Music can take us anywhere. I believe that, right?
I mean, Katy Perry, how cool was that at the NBA in Denver? You know?
Yeah, that was amazing.
She rocked.
Music can take us anywhere, right? So, you asked a question that I forgot to answer. I wanted to answer it. You asked, how did I kind of get to play guitar? And I started in high school, and I'll drive this back to the point we were making about how music can take you anywhere. But, and I played, and then you hit different levels and plateaus. The first performer I saw, I think, was Van Halen, which was so cool to see him live. I was like 15, and I got the bug from there and started playing. And then I was fortunate enough to start taking lessons from a few different rock stars out there, and they taught me applied theory to guitar. So some of the rock stars include Ollie Herbert, which he had passed away, but he was the lead guitarist for a band called All That Remains. They were one of the main bands in Guitar Hero, if you remember Guitar Hero. Yeah. We had their whole album on there. So I heard that. I reached out, and we connected, and I studied with him for 4 years on theory. And then all the other guitarists, his teachers, I started taking lessons from them. So one guitarist was Rusty Cooley. He's taught Kirk Hammett, Mark Tremonti from Creed, some Megadeth, like some very good guitarists out there. And so I got to really get privileged and understand how to communicate and keep up with these guys, which allowed me to get some more lessons. And now
it's so cool.
So it was a wonderful time. And I would throw these parties called rock star parties. And so I'd actually have real rock stars come to my parties, and my mom would make baked ziti for everybody. And we'd have these parties, and they got to dress up. So the whole party was, everybody gets to dress up like your favorite rock star, rapper, pop artist, country artist, whatever you want to be. And they would dress up like other musicians, not themselves. And then everybody would get to play at these parties. And it really kind of just took off. And I was like, how can I make my guitar playing different? And, I'm not an amazing singer. and I've always wanted to be able to do it. So I started just basically trying to figure out how to sing on my guitar, and literally I try to vocalize and play leads to the vocals, and that's been my MO for playing. But anyways, that's my story on guitar.
And just I've noticed that, like, even when you played,
Thank you.
here, it's like here I am. Like the way you played it, it was like you were singing the lead. It was, and I noticed that, and so that's why when I'm around you and you're playing guitar, I took guitar lessons. My wife, when we first started dating, bought me an acoustic guitar, and I wish I had started with electric because I probably wouldn't have given up because it's so much harder, on acoustic.
Yeah.
But but I know the words to a lot of songs, and so when I hear you vocalize the lead, when you harmonize the lead vocals, it makes it easy to kind of sing along, right? And so I noticed that style that you play. It's a joy to listen to.
Thank you. I think people want to participate and be interactive, and I was looking for a way also to draw the crowd in to have fun with me. I don't need to have the ego up on stage. I mean, everybody has a little bit of ego when you get on stage. It feels good to like have the attention, but at the same time, I wanted people to be able to participate and feel like they're having a party with me. So that's really where the whole idea comes from, and I hope to expand with other musicians.
In case people don't know, I mean, Van Halen's Eruption, so we had a fraternity brother named Ryan, and like we'd come home from partying on 6th Street, and we're like, Ryan, play Eruption, dude. Like, you got the guitar, like,
Yeah,
like that was like a fan favorite,
Let's see how it sounds. Is it like this? Let's see.
Yeah, that's it. You nailed it. See, like it's such a I'm getting like goosebumps. I mean, it's such a awesome friggin' intro, and then it goes right into, girl, you really got me now, like it goes right into it. And by the way, you said that your teacher had helped, trade and work with Kirk Hammett. That's the lead guitarist for Metallica, which is absolutely, one of my top 3 bands ever, who, by the way, Lars, their drummer, which I do have drums. I can actually keep a beat. Like I can keep a beat. I'm not as good as Steve out there or some of the other people I've seen.
When you come over, you're going to play drums.
Oh, it's so good. Well, so Lars is so Metallica and their whole merch website is all built on Salesforce. And so
that's awesome.
So I went to Dreamforce, and we're Salesforce clients on our TPO side and our Heckham division. And I went to Dreamforce one year, and Metallica was the main event, right in downtown San Francisco. And I mean, I'm like 10 feet away from the stage, with a bunch of tech guys who, not many of them really know who it was. So it was pretty amazing. Music is absolutely intertwined with, the creativity and the thought and everything we do. I mean, Todd Ebert over at Radian, he's, our national account rep for the mortgage insurance company, big musician. I mean, there's just a lot of really great, talented people in our business. And it's really cool to hear about that background and how you got your start. Wow, 40 years of stunning music theory. That now I'm not sure if I'm ever going to learn a guitar at age 48, but you never know. I may find it and find out one at a time.
I won't turn this into a lesson session, but the all theory, the way I learned it, and it's different for guitarists. So something interesting is that the guitar only uses the treble clef. It doesn't use the full sheet like a piano does. And there's shapes to apply theory, and they're not that hard. It's basically, there's like in the major scale, there's 3 shapes. And I won't get technical, but the 3 shapes, you can play those and figure out how to get across the entire neck of a guitar with just those 3 shapes. So if you ever want to learn, happy to share it. And it's so easy to grasp once you start to understand the concepts. And I'm visual, so like I need shapes.
Maybe me too. I always joke I'm a big dumb sales guy. I like pictures. Maybe I'll just start with bass guitar since I've played a little acoustic and played drums, and I can just tie them all together.
I've been asking you to get on stage with me. So whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with, man, you're welcome. And I need
I
some of your
appreciate that.
musicians, too, in the industry. I'd love to, talk to them too, and maybe, see what they can do out there.
A mortgage rock show, that would be sweet.
Oh, we're going to bring that. We're bringing a talent show for sure. And then you're also, Kevin, real quick pivot. So you're also very involved in CMBA. You've got the Innovators Conference. Maybe we give a little glimpse of that too. I had a wonderful time at MBA with you and Susan last year. You guys were gracious enough to let me play, and maybe talk a little bit about, just how that is starting to explode too into 2025.
Yeah, I've got two big conferences that I've been blessed enough to help co-chair. So the California Mortgage Banker Association is a nonprofit advocacy group. So it's not like a lot of the technology conferences where it's hosted by a huge technology partner, which I love. Like, I mean, but they have their own kind of curriculum and stuff. And so for the Mortgage Innovator Conference, we moved it. I believe it's the 5th year it's being done. They've moved it from that Anaheim Hilton where the power went out, by the way, at like 12:15 for 6 hours. Literally, like some people got stuck in the elevator. They moved it. Susan Milazzo is an incredible, amazing, high-powered CEO. She's been there 18 years. And it's going to be at the Waterfront Hotel in Huntington Beach. So it's right across from the sand and the pier at Huntington Pier. So that's, I believe, May 7th, 8th, and 9th. So Paul Gelati and myself were co-chairs last year. And this year, Ike Surrey is co-chair together with me. And Paul is working with Susan behind the scenes together with Nick Foster from Lion Fire Media. Excuse me. And they're working on, logistics and getting sponsors. Now, what's different about this year is not only is the venue amazing, and we already got some huge sponsors that are expressed tons of interest, Dark Matter, Core Logic, and the list goes on. But we want to make this like Blueprint. So Blueprint is a fintech prop tech show in Vegas where it's just a broad tech. So it's not really specialized in our business. So venture capital comes in, so you get a lot of VC money, equity firm money. And so it's as much about showcasing what's new and upcoming, but also bringing in investors. And we don't really have that for our industry. The NBA is no longer doing their technology show. And so it kind of leaves this first half of the year wide open for us. So we're calling it the Mortgage Innovator Conference 2025, the Blueprint for Success. So we have VC teams coming in. I'm on Rice Park Capital's advisory board. I'm also personally a limited partner with $500,000 dedicated to the fund, a Venture Tech 2 fund. We've made 2 investments so far in Perlin and Candor, and still have a few more investments to go. And so, we're going to have, it's not just, a California show. It's not just a day and a half or 2 days of sessions. We're going to have tech, VC, everything all coming together. And we want this to be a really big show, which showcases that part of our industries. I think it'll be different this year than any show that's ever been done in our business. Plus at an awesome venue, heading into the summer, right in the heart of spring purchase season, yet still the first week of the month. So, it's kind of slow. Like end of months are always busy for us in Huntington Beach. So we're pretty excited about that.
That is awesome. I'm excited. You got me excited. I can't wait to go.
It's going to be cool. Plus, I'm going to see you next January. I'm also co-chair of Mortgage Banker Association, the national trade show and conference organization, our advocacy group. They have the IMB, so the Independent Mortgage Bankers has a show that roams around, and that's in Austin, the live music capital of the world. Here we are tying it all together. Jason Stanger from Movement Mortgage and I are co-chairing that, and
nice.
That's going to be January 27th. That's a Monday, starts in the afternoon, and should be done by Wednesday afternoon. So, the JW Marriott, I hear is sold out, but there are so many great hotels right in the same area, and Austin is such a blast. So another one to go and kick the year off.
That's awesome. Well, this is going to be a great year. So why don't we wish all of our guests an awesome 2025? This is the year to crush it. We're still not quite out of the woods, but things are turning the corner for sure. We have technology to take advantage of, to harness, and to crush it this year. And Kevin, good luck to you, my friend. And I can't wait to be on the battlefield with you and crushing it with you. So,
hey, I even wore hard work meets digital disruption. That's one of our conference hoodies that we put out, a while back. And so if you haven't invested in tech, don't feel like you're far behind. If you haven't invested, it's not too late. You can definitely make some changes that will impact 2025. So let's get cracking.
All right. Well, thanks, Kevin. Thanks, everyone, for watching the show. We'll see you next time.